Hi, welcome to this particular video by Prep B. In this particular video, we would talk about a journey that you would all have to cover in upcoming days. That is a mandatory for all of you, but something that you would not have thought about till now because most of you were busy with your CAT preparation, and I can relate to that. Till the time you have not given your CAT exam, you are fully blown up by different things that might come up in CAT, what would be the syllabus, mocks, etc., etc. But as soon as you give CAT and post that, there is a journey that you would have to cover, and that is equally important for your selection. That is the GDPI PAT journey. This is something that most of you would be familiar about the name, but how you have to prepare, what should be the right structure of preparation, neither you would have thought about, and it is quite common that you won't know that what should be the right structure to prepare. You would know it in bits and pieces ki हाँ थोड़ा general awareness चाहिए, थोड़ा current affairs चाहिए, we need to prepare certain HR answers. Yes, you would know things in bits and pieces because you would have had certain discussions in different groups or different peers you would have. But this particular video would help you to understand that journey in a structure, and how we Prep B as a team will help you in this journey. All right, so let's start with the video. Firstly, I will break the three things, that is personal interview, group discussion, and VAT, and what is exactly assumed in these particular three aspects. Right. So, personal interview is mostly 3 to 1 or 2 to 1 thing, like there would be 2 to 3 panelists and you would have to sit there. It is more of a personalized thing. It completely depends on how you perform, and it is somewhat in an isolated environment. Same goes for VAT as well. VAT is something that you would have to write. You would have to think about a topic and you would have to write. So again, it goes into isolation. But group discussions and group exercises, something that solely does not depend on your performance. It also depends on how the group dynamics are working that day and how your overall group is performing that day, right? So there are different tips and tricks that you would have to follow in different situations that you would land up in. All right. So going ahead, firstly, we would discuss about what could be the different buckets in which we can divide the questions that might come up into your personal interview. Right. So first would be the personality based questions, that are the basic HR question, which would include tell me something about yourself, why MBA, why you would want to do MBA in a particular domain, your strengths, weakness, etc., etc. There is not an exhaustive list of these questions, but there are definitely few very important questions that you would definitely keep intact while your preparation, because these questions will not guarantee your selection but can guarantee your rejection from a particular B school if not prepared well, right? Second question would be about your work experience, your internships or life project. Probably I would say wherever you have applied your knowledge, right? Where you would have your knowledge on place and you have applied that knowledge through different real time scenarios by your work ex, life project or internships. Second category of question will revolve around that particular thing. Now thirdly, that is an important part for freshers, specifically, that is the academics part, because a fresher don't have a lot of work experience and hence don't have a lot of application based learnings to talk about. The only thing that remains is that either the internships, if you have done any, or your academics, your subjects that you have learned in your undergrad, that are the very important thing while you are sitting for an interview, because that will showcase how serious you were about your studies in your undergrad, right? Then fourth category would be your general awareness part. General awareness would again be divided into two things. One would be your static GK, that can have questions from your state, from your country, from your neighboring countries, etc., etc. And second thing would be about the current affairs, the geopolitical news, the economic news, the business news, etc., etc. Right? Fifth thing would be the extracurricular activities. So they can discuss about your hobbies, any achievements you would have in sports, dance, anything you are interested in. So they can ask about, they can discuss about, and they can also ask fairly relevant question related to your extracurricular also. For example, if you are interested in badminton, they might ask who is the number one men's player, number one women's player under BWF category, etc. So there are a lot of things that they might ask. So you have to prepare that as well in depth. And last thing would be that is not really important to come up in interviews, but it has been seen since past few years that this thing has been coming up at least in food for few of the IIMs and also some of the other institutes. That is guesstimates and logical puzzles. So this is something that you should prepare upon. These are the six broad level categories that you should divide your personal interview preparation in, and you should start preparing. All right. So second thing that comes up is GDPI and VAT. So if I divide GDPI and VAT into a structural thinking, just imagine what is required. First thing that is required is you have to think. Any topic is given to you, you have to think about that topic. Second thing that is most important, and this is the part which most of the candidate lacks, is that you have to structure the thoughts you have in your mind. You don't have to randomly spit out or write your thoughts. You have to structure your thoughts before portraying it in front of the panelist, either by writing or by speaking, right? And the third part that again differentiates is that in VAT you have to write that structure of thoughts, and in GDPI you have to, in GD I should say, you have to speak about the structure of thoughts that you have thought about, right? Now how you should prepare around this. So as the first step was around thinking, how you should boost your thinking. So in boosting the thinking, the first thing that comes up is learning about different topics. I will mention what could be the probable different topics that you should learn about. First would be current affairs. Second would be opinion based topics. For example, you are reading about something, so it is not important to state facts, but it is important to give your opinion pertaining to that fact or that particular news, right? So opinion based thinking is very much important. Third is the philosophical thinking. There are certain philosophical topics also that has been seen in past few years, especially in VAT. Then that comes up is the abstract topic. For example, pink, blue, joker, circle, anything, any abstract topic that can come up. You can't really prepare about these, but you can definitely read a lot about different topics, which eventually you can relate to a particular abstract topic and maybe write about this, right? For example, in pink, you can think about the 2000 rupees note that came after demonetization. That was pink in color. So this is a very random fact, but if you read about different topics, you can relate it to an abstract topic. And last is something, a case based thing. They will give you a business case or a general case or a consulting case or any case for that matter that you are assumed to either solve or analyze. All right. So these are the broad level five categories that you should start learning about. How you have to learn that we will speak in upcoming timeline of this video. And the most important part after learning is that don't learn and like do stuffs in isolation. Once you have read upon something or once you have learned about something, try to relate it to the past topics that you have already discovered. If you have read something related to geopolitics today, try to relate it to any economic or any other news, any country level news, and any other news that you would have read in past times, and try to relate, try to make linkages so that you can apply different knowledge at particular time whenever it is required, right? Now how you should practice structuring. So learning can be done firstly by three parts. First would be you can read different editorials, different articles. Second would be you can watch videos of different news channels, or one good resource would be different UPSC channels, because those channels definitely post a lot of news and keep you up to date, right? So you can follow any of the UPSC channels which give a day-to-day news and also analyze the news for you. And lastly, you can also listen to business podcast, right? One of the channel that I would personally suggest is Think School. The channel really breaks down each and every case in very much in depth, and I personally watch that channel a lot, even now as well, right? So by these three means, you can enhance your learning and definitely try to relate, as I already mentioned. Going ahead, once you are done reading, listening, or watching whatever, make notes. Make notes of whatever you remember or whatever you felt is important. Second step would be make a cohesive short paragraph out of the notes, whichever you have made, right? Once you have done this now, the structuring part is already sorted. So when you are sitting for a GD or a BAT, you have been given a topic, you will definitely write certain random pointers. The challenge comes into making a cohesive paragraph. So start practicing that from the initiating point only. You don't have to worry about that how you will think about the topic, that would already been taken care of because you are learning a lot, right? That was our first step. So going ahead, whatever you are learning, write short pointers for that and then try to make a cohesive paragraph out of that. It would be very easy for you because already you have learned that in a structured manner. So making structure out of something already that was have been in structure is not a very different or difficult thing, I should say, right? And the last thing that comes up is that using of frameworks. So this is the very common mistake that most of the people do. They directly jump up to different frameworks like Scamper, Pestle. They directly jump up to frameworks, but there is a very much need of prerequisites before you jump up to any framework, because frameworks can't help you if you don't know how to structure your thought, or if you don't know like what has to be delivered in that particular topic. So that would be taken care of by structuring and learning, and then use case of frameworks would come in picture. So till now, your VAT has almost been taken care of because you have learned, you have structured, and you have also written down. So you now know how to write good pointers in a cohesive manner, right? Now, when it comes to GD, there is a small tweak that you would make in your strategy, and that tweak is basically what is important in GD. Two very important things. Firstly, enter at the right time. And secondly, create impact whenever you enter in a GD, right? So these are something that can't be practiced without learning, right? So for this, like, we have a dedicated class for mentoring students about GD. So if you would want to join that class, you can definitely do that. If not, what you can try to do is that you can practice speaking a lot of things, but uh, like practicing in a group is very much important, because as I said, that GD is something that is not in isolation. You should know how to deal with group dynamics. You should know that how you have to enter in a particular GD, how you have to pitch out from a particular GD, what you should know if you are not getting a chance to speak in a GD, what you should do while you are introducing a topic for a GD, how you should conclude a GD. All of these things are very much important, and these are something that has to be learned in a proper manner, right? So this is something that can like make or break and kind of be a deal breaker for a GD, right? So now last topic for this particular video is about personal interviews. Personal interviews, as we have already bucketed a lot of topics, how we will help you in upcoming video is that we have taken up the personality based questions, and the most important questions out of that, that is tell me something about yourself, why MBA, strengths and weaknesses, how to justify a gap year, and at the bonus, whatever you comment, whatever you feel is important and you are finding it really hard to structure, you can comment down in our videos, and definitely we will come up with a video for the same, right? So before switching to any of the videos, what you should technically do is that, and this is a very good strategy, we also suggest this to our student and it has really helped them out, not in just the B school GDPI process, but also in their summers and final placements. Prepare a white paper. In white paper, write everything that you feel is important to your profile, from your academic achievement to your work experience to your extracurricular achievements, everything that you have done since your academic time till now. Write everything on a white sheet of paper and keep that as a repository, right? That will be very helpful while structuring your answers, while making your CV, anything you do, while filling up your forms, while writing a SOP for any form, anything you do, that particular white paper would be very much handy in that case. So this is something very important that you should do right now, right? After this is done, you can switch to our videos that would be coming in upcoming times, which would be around the topics as I said: tell me something about yourself, why MBA, strength, weaknesses, and how to justify a gap year, and whatever topics you would suggest. Keep your white paper with you, see those videos, and then structure the answer, right? Apart from this, how we would be helping you is that you go to our website, the link would be given in the description. There is a free trial bonus pack. You just go and register, it is free of cost. In that you will get a free GD and a free mock PI to give, right? And how it will be structured is that on every Wednesday we will keep a free GD. Top two contenders from those GD will surpass with that level, and on Sunday those two contenders would be giving a mock PI, and the best out of those two will get free access to our paid courses, right? The GDPI preparation courses, they will get a free access to that. So it is sort of a price for that particular contender. So if you are interested in this sort of a thing and you feel that you are someone who can sort of avail that by your performance, then please check the link in the description, fill that particular thing. It would be very helpful for you, and for those people who won't be winning but definitely can avail a mock PI. So in that particular case, you would also be given a mock PI, but you won't be eligible for the free course that we would give. That would only be for the winner. All right, so this is for this video. Please stay tuned, subscribe to Prebby's channel for the upcoming videos. That would be really helpful to you. And if you found this particular video helpful, please like. Thank you.